Here's the worksheet you should find below that you can start and practice on. You can see that here are some different kinds of instruments, some that are analog. You have to read them. You can see them, the swing arm, down to the one more place past the markings. And there's digital ones so that you can't, and you just have to take those numbers to show. So when you go through here, I want you to write out what those digits are, as you can see. Hopefully in this first one, you've written it just to the digits that you can see on a digital scale, but on those, you should be able to make one more guess. On the bottom, okay, I want you to tell me how many of these places were careful. Because those are digits, they were written, they have numerical values between 1 and 9, they are both careful. Okay? It's when you get into here where you have some zeros on the right or the left that you want to determine how many are there. One word about this one is that it's any number that's in scientific or exponential notation. You don't have to worry about the times 10 to it. That does not change those significant numbers. It's just what the number is in the front side that will determine which ones were careful and which ones weren't. If you look below this, you're going to notice that I've provided answers, and if you have questions about those, feel free. You can always check those as you're going along. All right. So it's not enough just to know that you've got numbers that have carefulness, but a lot of times you're going to have to then use those numbers in calculations. The two places you're going to use those mostly are to add up a bunch of numbers and to multiply or divide those numbers. And the rule of how careful your answer's accuracy can be is a little different for addition than it is for multiplication. Okay, if you think about 3 people in the room, okay, that measure something in length, and you got to stick it in a packing container, you got to put 50 of those in, you're just using all those measurements to come up. The one who's measured the least careful will be as careful as your answer is going to be. So if I look down this line, I'm going to say, which of these is the least careful? This goes out to the hundredths, 10th place, and that's the ones place. So this is your least accurate term. That is where your answer has to stop having accurate numbers. So if I'm adding something, your column is the place where your accuracy has to stop from the least term. So stacking them is always a good thing when you're adding and subtracting to find out how careful your answer can be. If I drop my arrow down through here and it says, I can't have any accurate numbers beyond there, then I have to stop and I'm going to get rid of those. Before I do, of course, I can use that to see if I should round up or not. In this case, I have 350.25. I'm going to stop there. I'm going to put a decimal. The other option to show something careful is you could put a bar over a 0. So a 0 with a bar over it would be one way to express accuracy. So in addition, subtraction, you're going to have to stop where that accuracy stops with the worst term. Again, on your worksheet, I want you to go in there and I want you to get those answers and work on those.